CONSHOHOCKEN, PA. The last time a United States team competed for the Ryder Cup without Phil Mickelson, at the Belfrey in 1993, Bryson DeChambeau was born 8 days later. On Tuesday night outside Philadelphia, 25 years later, Mickelson and DeChambeau were seated next to each other as two of Jim Furyk's captain's picks to play this year's matches at Hazeltine. Mickelson's list of career accomplishments is too long to recount, but a couple holes remain on his Hall of Fame resume. Lefty still has time to complete the career Grand Slam, but the Ryder Cup won't return to Europe until 2022, when he'll be 52 years old. Ryder Cup, articles, photos and videos. Certainly, this is most likely my last chance to go over to Europe and to be a part of a winning U.S. team in Europe. We haven't done that in 25 years, he acknowledged. I set out this year, on really, a strong commitment and journey to get on the team. Once Tiger Woods was brought onto the stage Tuesday night, he and Mickelson shared a hug. The two have certainly warmed to one another in recent years, bonding through U.S. team events. Their pay-per-view showdown is set for November 23, but when asked about the potential of a Woods-Mickelson pairing in Paris, Phil punted, "Well, my excitement to be on the Ryder Cup itself is at an all-time high because I know how much I cherish these events. I know how the relationships that get formed during these weeks, how much they mean, and I know how, as I look back on my career, how meaningful these team events are. So for me to be a part of it is something very special," he non-answered. And to have Tiger back in the game of golf and playing at such a high, elite level, has been exciting for everybody, including the players. We find ourselves watching with interest, just like all the fans do. Article tags, 2018 Ryder Cup, Phil Mickelson CONSHOHOCKEN, PA. There's little doubt Jim Furyk was going to select Tiger Woods with one of his 4 Ryder Cup captain's picks. But just in case there was any doubt in the 14-time major winner's mind, he sounds as though he was able to leak a little info to himself. Asked when exactly he found out he was headed to Paris as a player, and not just a vice-captain, Woods answered on Tuesday night, "I played well at the PGA, so we are hinting at. Sorry, the vice-captains and the captain were hinting at picking him as a player. As a vice-captain, I put my hat in for that player." Woods was named a vice-captain for the U.S. side back in February, when it seemed unthinkable that he was going to threaten to win multiple times, including at 2 majors. Woods hasn't played in a Ryder Cup since 2012, but did serve as an assistant at Hazeltine in 2016. He was eager to once again help in any way he could, but he knew how he really wanted to contribute. "Deep down, I wanted to make the team. I really wanted to play on it," he said. "Now, I had not started playing golf really yet, but still, it was a goal at the end of the season is to be able to make this team. As the year progressed, I've kind of gained some traction, and was somehow able to get some high finishes, and lo and behold, I'm a part of this team. It's incredible, it really is, to look back at the start of the year and now to have accomplished a goal like that, to be a part of this team, and now to be a player is just... like I said, it's beyond special." With Woods now a member of the team, Furyk said Tuesday night that he'll be replacing Woods as a vice-captain in order to free him up as a player. Shortly after announcing Woods, Bryson DeChambeau and Phil Mickelson as his captain's picks, Furyk introduced 3 new vice-captains in David Duval, Zach Johnson and Matt Kuchar. "He has been instrumental in helping not only the captains before me, but me, as well, as far as strategy, as far as planning, as far as pairings, and I'm going to continue to use that knowledge and that strategy," Furyk said, referring to Woods. "I want to allow him to be able to practice, to prepare, and work with his partner or partners in that preparation. So when he needs to step up, that gives him a little bit of freedom and it gives me another set of eyes over there." Article tags, Tiger Woods, 2018 Ryder Cup, Jim Furyk CONSHOHOCKEN, PA. Maybe the canned video message should have tipped us off. In the 20-second clip that was aired during a Ryder Cup news conference inside the PGA of America headquarters on Feb. 2020, Woods read from a teleprompter that he was thankful to be named a U.S. vice captain and excited about the challenge. More telling, however, was this line: "My goal is to make the team, but whatever happens over the course of this season, I will continue to do whatever I can to help us keep the cup, make the team." At the time, Woods' goal seemed overly ambitious, and maybe even delusional, given what had transpired over the past few years. He was less than a year removed from a last-ditch back fusion and only 3 inauspicious starts into his comeback. It seemed like a pipe dream for him to join the supremely talented American roster with Dustin Johnson and Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth and Patrick Reed, Ricky Fowler and Brooks Koepka, at least in a role other than what he'd served in the previous 2 Cups, where he was tasked with lining up the X and O's, zipping around in a Team USA cart, and fetching sandwiches and shoes for the members of his 4-man pod. But late Tuesday afternoon, named as one of Jim Furyk's 4 captain's picks, Woods officially traded in his earpiece for a team uniform, offering yet another reminder of how drastically this healthy, productive year has shifted his short- and long-term plans. Ryder Cup articles, photos and videos. At the beginning of the year, one of my goals was to make the team, he said. When I got the call from Jim and he asked if I would serve as a vice captain, I said, absolutely. Anything to help you out, but deep down, I wanted to make the team. I really wanted to play on it. I hadn't started playing golf yet, but still it was a goal at the end of the season to make this team. So it's incredible, it really is, to look back at the start of the year and now to have accomplished a goal like that. It's beyond special. The question now, of course, is whether Woods the player is still more valuable than Woods the assistant. It's been 6 years since he last played in a Ryder Cup, a 1-2-1 effort at Medina in which he conceded Francesco Molinari's putt on the final green, handing Europe the outright victory. With his career in jeopardy, Woods has been more engaged over the past few years and proven to be an invaluable resource in the team room, not only because of his 2 decades of big game experience, but because he's mostly talking to a team of 20-somethings that grew up idolizing him. They hung on every word and tried desperately to impress him, and it's easy to see how that effect would be magnified inside the ropes. Players like Bryson DeChambeau and Justin Thomas might run through a wall if partnered with Woods. Furyk reiterated Tuesday that Woods will be in Paris to play, not assist, and that any unnecessary week of duties will be eliminated so that he can focus on his preparation like the other 11 players on the squad. Even if Woods, as he said, will have nowhere near the role that he held at Hazeltine, the prolific texter is almost certain to ping Furyk's phone with even more ideas on potential lineups and strategy. It's part of his competitive DNA. I'm happy for him because of how much work he's put in for the teams and given to them, Furyk said. I know it's got to be very special for him to play with those same guys, and I know how happy they are to have him on the team. Article tags, 2018 Ryder Cup, Tiger Woods CONSHOHOCKEN, PA. U.S. Ryder Cup captain Jim Furyk is down to one final wildcard pick, and he said Tuesday that he's narrowed down his list of contenders to fewer than a half-dozen players. This week's BMW Championship outside Philadelphia is the final chance for players to audition for a spot on Furyk's U.S. team, which added Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson and Bryson DeChambeau on Tuesday. Tony Finau would seem to be the favorite to land the last spot, but Furyk said that he called a significant amount of players on Monday night to inform them of his first wave of selections. Ryder Cup articles, photos and videos. Though Furyk was coy about the exact nature of those calls, he said that he talked to, at least, everyone through no. 15 on the points list. That suggests that Xander Schauffele, number 12, Kevin Kisner, number 14, and Finau, number 15, are still in the running. DeChambeau, Mickelson and Woods were no's. 9-11 in the points standings, and no. 13 Matt Kuchar was named as a Ryder Cup vice-captain on Tuesday. I don't know if I left it at, if you do X, you'll make the team. Furyk said, "But I just said, this is the situation we're in, and we'll be watching." Furyk was asked how much emphasis he'll place on this week's performance at Aronimink. "I think it depends on the person and the situation," he said. "I'm still going to go back to the same thing I've said all year. I'm looking at a full body of work. I'm looking at the full year and I'm looking at who's playing well presently. You can't really be in this position and have a bad year. You wouldn't be on my list. But there's definitely a few guys that have separated themselves from the pack, for a couple of different reasons." Furyk will round out the 12-man roster at 9 a.m. Monday. Article tags: Jim Furyk, Tony Finau, 2018 Ryder Cup CONSHOHOCKEN, PA. The last Ryder Cup captain may have had an inkling that Bryson DeChambeau was going to be a member of the U.S. team one day. U.S. captain Jim Furyk announced DeChambeau as one of his 3 picks on Tuesday night, but once DeChambeau took the stage, he started telling a story about a different captain, Davis Love III. Just 5 months into his PGA Tour career in September 2016, DeChambeau traveled with friends and family to Hazeltine to watch the Ryder Cup as a fan. And that's when he quite literally caught Love's eye. Ryder Cup articles, photos and videos per DeChambeau. The two had the following exchange, complete with multiple uses of the word man. It was kind of interesting. "I think he looked over and did a double take and looked like, 'Bryson, that you?' I was standing outside the ropes, chilling, have a good time, watching everybody play well. I said, 'Yeah, it's me, I'm just coming here to support. I want to get a feel of what it's like.' He's like, 'Good on ya, man. Thanks for coming out and supporting.' I was like, 'Yeah, man, I wouldn't have done it any other way, so pretty special, and it was nice for him to call me out of the crowd. That was cool.' After finishing 9th on the U.S. points list, DeChambeau was a likely captain's selection, but he cemented his status with back-to-back victories at the Northern Trust and the Dell Technologies Championship, the first 2 legs of the FedEx Cup playoffs. DeChambeau admitted Tuesday that he still wasn't sure he was going to make the team after his win at Ridgewood, and so he was once again motivated to prove himself at TPC Boston. That comment drew a smile from Captain Furyk. Another comment drew a laugh from everyone else in the room and served as a fitting bookend for DeChambeau's 2-year ascent from spectator to competitor. "Well, I just took a shower," DeChambeau answered, when asked where he was when he got the good news. "I just got out of the shower and Davis actually texted me and said, 'Give the captain a call.'" Article tags: 2018 Ryder Cup, Bryson DeChambeau.